Please be seated. On the first day of third year, we were instructed to come in for orientation and to wear comfortable shoes because we would be touring at the hospital. In a classic Chuck move, I decided to ignore that and look cute, so I wore heels and I paid the price by the end of the day. As the tour wrapped up, Shazma Khan stopped me and told me that I looked cute but miserable and traded shoes with me for the walk back to our cars. Several months later, after I had failed 2 shelf exams and Step 2 for the first time, Kevin Chin made it a point to text me at least once or twice every week or so to check in on me and to see how I was doing. And if we take it all the way back to the beginning, I have the honor of standing in front of you today to welcome you to our Class of 2023 commencement ceremony because Alex Zapata and Jacqueline Cole and so many other dear friends encouraged me to run for class president. This is actually my last job that I get to do as president, and I'm so grateful to be here doing it. Our class went through, and I know we're all sick of this word, so bear with me, a lot of unprecedented things during our time as medical students. We've seen the field of medicine change drastically in real time due to a worldwide pandemic, multiple major policy changes and the endless debates that follow, and a significant uptick in both mental health and human rights issues. All of this on top of the usual rigors of medical school. The truth is we could not have made it through that to be here today without some, and by some I mean a heck of a lot of kindness. The examples I gave a minute ago are merely a small percent of the kindness I have been shown personally, and I hope I've given a small percent of that back. But that doesn't even begin to take into account all of the kindnesses that have been shown between all of the members of our class, all of whom are fantastic people and who are going to go out into the world and change so many lives throughout the courses of our careers. I have seen these people uplift each other time and time again, and I've seen their passion and excitement for the work that they do, and their patients will do nothing but benefit from it. We have also been shown kindness from the patients themselves, and from our medical community here in West Texas, and from our school educators and faculty as well. We as the class of 2023 have the particular honor of sharing the ending of this chapter and a beginning of a new one with our beloved Dean Stephen Burke, who has dedicated almost 20 years of his life to this school and its students, and has recently announced his retirement, making us his last graduating class. I was especially lucky to have Dean Burke as my small group leader in the first 2 years of school, but through the course of our 4 years, he has been there for all of us in more ways than we know. Dr. Burke will leave very large shoes to fill for the TTUHSC School of Medicine's new dean, but he also leaves a legacy of students who are genuinely passionate about going out there into the world and doing real good in medicine. I hope that if you get a chance to talk to him today, you will offer him gratitude for the excellent education that you or your family member has received here, because we all have very bright futures ahead of us thanks to him. Last but not least, I want to talk about the most important kindness we have been shown throughout this battle called medical school. Those of you who are here to celebrate with us are parents, siblings, spouses, kids, friends, mentors, and all other loved ones who we are so grateful to see today. We are here thanks to your unending support and patience. You have seen us through our toughest struggles and our brightest accomplishments and never wavered even when we did. Today is for you as much as, even more than, it is for us. Y para mi mamá, que no puede estar aquí hoy, te quiero mucho. To my class, I hope that you acknowledge all of the kindness that brought us here today. We didn't get here alone, and residency will be no different. Keep cherishing the people around you and offering the kindness that you receive back to the source and elsewhere. But also, don't be afraid of the kindness that is the most difficult for a lot of us. Kindness to yourself. Remember that you are not perfect, and honestly, you probably never will be. It's a learning journey. Forgive yourself for mistakes and the things you still have to learn, and always leave room for growing and understanding new things. We have the rest of our lives to make our careers exactly what we want them to be, so let's take care of ourselves along the way. With that, I'll let the celebration get underway. Thank you again for listening, and congratulations, fellow doctors. I'm proud of us, and in the immortal words of the famous lawyer Elle Woods, we did it! I now have the honor of introducing the participants in today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Betsy Jones, Professor and Chair, Department of Medical Education and Co-Director, Family Medicine Accelerated Track Program. Dr. Elizabeth Conser, Associate Professor, Department of Pediatrics, Lubbock Campus, Assistant Dean for Student Wellness and Advancement, and Hooder for the Lubbock Campus. Dr. Michaela Jansen, Professor, Department of Cell Physiology and Molecular Biophysics, and Associate Dean of Curriculum. Dr. Easy Obukhari, Associate Professor, Department of General Surgery, Amarillo Campus, and Hooder for the Amarillo Campus. Ms. Kristen Stutz, Assistant Regional Academic Dean, Amarillo Campus, and Reader for the Amarillo Campus. Dr. Sam Campbell, Professor, Department of Surgery, Lubbock Campus, and Assistant Dean for Clinical Sciences Curriculum. Dr. Sean Nunez, Associate Professor, Department of Pediatrics, Lubbock Campus, Associate Vice Dean of Medical Education, Covenant Campus, and Hooder for Covenant Campus. Dr. Michael Robinson, Clinical Professor, Department of Internal Medicine, Lubbock Campus, Internal Medicine Clerkship Director, Covenant Campus, and Hooder for the Covenant Campus. Ms. Rachel Forbes, Assistant Vice Dean for Student Affairs, Covenant Campus, and Reader for the Covenant Campus. Dr. Martin Ortega, Associate Professor and the Regional Chair, Department of Family Medicine, Permian Basin, and Assistant Dean of Medical Education, Permanent Basin Campus, and Hooder for the Permian Basin Campus. Ms. Jasmine Noor, Senior Director for Undergraduate Medical Education, Permian Basin, and Reader for the Permian Basin Campus. Dr. David Trotter, Associate Professor, Department of Family Medicine, Lubbock Campus, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, and Reader for the Lubbock Campus. Dr. Ebetsam Islam, Associate Professor, Department of Internal Medicine, Lubbock Campus, and Associate Dean for Clinical Education. Dr. Lauren Cobbs, Associate Professor, Department of Medical Education, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, and Hooder for the Lubbock Campus. Dr. Simon Williams, Professor, Department of Medical Education, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and Reader for the Lubbock Campus. Dr. Robert Salem, Founding Vice Dean of Medical Education, Covenant Campus. Dr. Timothy Benton, Professor, Department of Family Medicine and Regional Dean, Permian Basin Campus. Dr. Brian Weiss, Professor, Department of Internal Medicine, Amarillo Campus, and Interim Regional Dean, Amarillo Campus. Dr. Richard Jordan, Professor, Department of Internal Medicine, Amarillo Campus. Dr. Darren D'Agostino, Provost and Chief Academic Officer of the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center. Dr. Shelley Sweat, Regent for the Texas Tech University System. Dr. Stephen Burke, Executive Vice President for Clinical Affairs and Dean of the School of Medicine. And the faculty of the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center School of Medicine. Will you please stand? Will the... You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to welcome Regent Sweat from the Texas Tech University System Board of Regents.
Good afternoon. What a great day today is. It is my pleasure to be here as part of the School of Medicine class of 2023 graduation. Today, I bring you greetings from the Texas Tech University System Board of Regents and want to congratulate our graduates, parents, other family members, and friends who are here to mark this wonderful event. This is a time of celebration, not only for our graduates and those of you in the audience, but also for us on this stage and our faculty who have invested themselves in each and every one of our graduates. You have been the teachers, the mentors, the encouragers, the advisors, the counselors, and friends of our graduates, and you deserve much credit for their success. And as I look out in front of me, I want to say to each mom and dad, family member, friend, loved one, congratulations to you also on a job extremely well done. On behalf of the entire Board of Regents, I pay tribute to those of you who will receive your diplomas today. The fact that you are here is a sign of your outstanding commitment and dedication. It's an honor to have a degree, and you've earned it through hard work and determination. We all congratulate you. At Texas Tech, we are rich in tradition, and our spirit can be seen all over the globe, from the masked rider and our guns up to the beloved double T that we all wear so proudly. And now, as graduates, you will carry on the biggest tradition of all, joining the countless alumni who have gone on and become the best in their fields and made a difference in the world. The Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center is proud to be graduating the next generation of healthcare professionals who will serve the region, our state, and our nation. Each of you has received an exceptional education to improve healthcare and provide quality patient care and outreach. I share with you the feeling of pride and accomplishment, and I know that this is a bittersweet moment for each of you. You're eager to enter the next phase of your life, but you're also grateful for the relationships built and the time spent at this university. There have been faculty members who inspired you. There have been many classes that challenged you. And along the way, there have been many hurdles and triumphs that have made you into the professionals you are today. Take pride not only in your accomplishments, but also in your alma mater. You are graduating from one of the greatest universities in the nation. Now, my fellow Red Raiders, as you leave this place to continue your life journeys, I encourage you to make your alma mater proud. Make your families proud, but most importantly, make yourselves proud. Congratulations again, and great happiness and much success in the years ahead. We will be watching your accomplishments with pride. Come back often and always keep Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center close to your hearts. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Richard Jordan to introduce Dr. Burke as today's keynote speaker.
Thank you, Regent Sweat. It's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Stephen Burke, our Executive Vice President and Dean of the Medical School. All of us are very thankful and so much the better for the 24 years that he has served our School of Medicine. He was first the Regional Dean in Amarillo, and since 2006 has served as our overall Dean of the School of Medicine. As our students know, he is the quintessential student advocate. No student issue, large or small, will escape his attention. His focus on details, long hours of work, leadership are the greatest reasons our students' standardized test scores and our medical school curriculum and our level of student satisfaction have placed Texas Tech in the very upper echelons of all the U.S. medical schools. He's especially proud that not only do our students say we prepare them to be physicians, but also foster their growth to be caring and wholesome individuals. In so many ways, Dr. Burke is a remarkable example of ethics and resilience for us all. He is the most resilient individual I know. Let me tell you why. Dr. Burke wrote a book, Anatomy of a Kidnapping, describing the day he took his trash out and accidentally left his garage door open. And the next thing he knew, a gunman with a rifle entered his home and pointed the rifle at Dr. Burke and said, "I want money and jewels." Dr. Burke's first instinct was to get the gunman out of the house because his family was sleeping inside. So quickly agreed to go to an ATM machine And afterwards, in the car, while the kidnapper was likely deciding whether or not to murder Dr. Burke became his therapist. He found a broken man with a broken life who had likely killed his wife sometime before the kidnapping of Dr. Burke. As they were driving, Dr. Burke memorized the VIN number of the car. This is no easy feat. It's 17 digits of letters and numbers, and through the windshield, it is reversed and backwards. And especially difficult if you think you may be killed in the next few minutes. After what I'm sure seemed like an eternity to Dr. Burke, on a deserted road near Palo Duro, he let Dr. Burke out of the car. But because Dr. Burke had the presence of mind to memorize this VIN number, this man was tracked down and arrested, and a very dangerous individual was removed from society. Dr. Burke also survived a harrowing, life-threatening cardiac event very recently, and a recovery that took weeks. But true to his character, he returned to full duty to continue to lead our medical school. He's an example of incredible resilience, true grit, devotion to duty, and a sense of mission that we all admire and from which we can learn. There are other things about Dr. Burke that I want you to know. He graduated magna cum laude and was Phi Beta Kappa at Brandeis University. He attended medical school at Boston University and was selected into Alpha Omega Alpha. And for our guests, Alpha Omega Alpha is the medical school equivalent of Phi Beta Kappa. In 2012, he was invited back to Boston, where he was named the Boston University School of Medicine's Outstanding Alumnus. Before coming to Texas Tech, he was the chair of the Department of Medicine at East Tennessee State University. That's where I first met him 35 years ago as a faculty member in his department. There he received the very prestigious Laureate in Medicine Award from the Tennessee College of Physicians, and he received East Tennessee State's highest faculty recognition, the Distinguished Faculty Award. He invented the forerunner of the Objective Structure Clinical Exam, or OSCE, while he was at ETSU. The OSCE is now used nationwide. At Texas Tech, he pioneered the highly innovative and nationally recognized Family Medicine Accelerated Residency track. His leadership and his vision were the critical factors for the School of Medicine passing 2 rigorous LCME and SACS accreditation site visits with outstanding results. He is now hard at work doing everything in his power to be certain Texas Tech passes the next LCME site visit. Dr. Burke has authored over 120 peer-reviewed manuscripts, 5 textbooks, many book chapters. He is a world expert in infectious disease, community-acquired pneumonia, and COVID. He is listed in the top 2% of global investigators by the Stanford Index. And this is based upon how many other investigators cite his work. He's also just written a second book, Search of the Animalcule. It is a work of fascinating historical fiction where investigators look for the bacterial cause of death of so many young women on the obstetric wards in the 1880s. It promises to be his second best-selling book. And in case you're wondering, animalcule is the very early term that investigators of the time used to describe those curious little moving, living things in the specimens they looked at through their microscopes. His record is one that all of us would be envious to have. And for our graduating students, it is something to strive to obtain. Even if you can only partially get the recognition and the success he has enjoyed, you will be greatly successful. You our outstanding class of 2023 will be the last class to experience the full impact of Dr. Burke's great leadership and contributions to your education. He's stepping down as dean at the end of August, but he has trained all the faculty well. His legacy and his influence will continue. I know we're all thankful for Dr. Burke's great contributions to Texas Tech Health Sciences Center. He's a leader, a mentor, a friend to all of his students and colleagues. I have worked in my career and life for many outstanding individuals, but I have greater respect for him than anyone I've ever known. As long as we follow his visionary path, Texas Tech School of Medicine will do well. At this time, I'm very proud to introduce my great friend of 35 years, Dr. Steve Burke.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan, and we wish you luck in your retirement after 14 years of outstanding leadership on the Amarillo campus. Amarillo has become a national model for a regional campus under your direction, and we appreciate all you've done for the medical school as well. I would also like to congratulate family members and spouses. My faculty taught me a West Texas saying that you've heard: when you see a turtle on a fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself. And I too want to thank family and spouses who are part of the reason why students are becoming physicians today. And I recognize the tremendous sacrifices of some of those families. And today, on my 18th graduation as dean, I would also like to say that I am that turtle on the fence post as well. And I could not have gotten where I am today without the support and commitment of my faculty and staff, these graduates, and the approximately 2,500 previous graduates who I have followed from white coat to graduation. Being the dean of this medical school has been the great privilege of my life. Consider the implications of what we do here today. I believe we train every graduating student right in caring for the patient, in having the clinical skills, ethics, empathy, and knowledge necessary to be an effective physician. Now, you may not believe this, and I don't want to scare the graduates, but each student here today is likely to see 120,000 patients or 120,000 patient visits in their career. So those numbers are right: 15 per day, 30 years, 270 days per year. The class of 180, about 21 million patient visits. And my faculty and I welcome that awesome responsibility. 55 years ago, there was skepticism about a school of medicine in West Texas. Deans of the other Texas medical schools, many politicians believed that we did not have the population density, the academic infrastructure, or even the talent to have a health science center here. Now, 55 years later, the School of Medicine graduates 173, 180 students per year, one of the larger schools in the country, equal to the best schools in the percentage of passing of USMLE 1 and USMLE 2. We have 43 residency and fellowship programs, and most of them have received commendation from our Graduate Medical Education National Group. We're in the top 10 percentile based on the AAMC's evaluation of our financial profile, our profit margin, and the work that the 300 outstanding Texas Tech physicians do every day. And as I end my deanship, let me tell you the news from last week. The results of the U.S. News and World Report medical school rankings. We were ranked 19th best primary care school out of 192 medical schools. And of the top 20 primary care ranked schools, we were the third most affordable. I know the parents appreciate that. We were ranked the top ND primary care school in Texas. So clearly we were underestimated 50 years ago. And by the American Academy of Family Medicine, we were ranked 9th in the country in family medicine based on the percentage of our students that go into family medicine, the discipline that the state of Texas so desperately needs. By USA Today, we are the 11th most affordable medical school in the country. We were the most affordable medical school in the country 2 years ago, but somebody raised the tuition slightly, and it wasn't me. But the greatest achievement is our medical students that we graduate and their record of excellence as students and physicians. This year's class will go on to some of the most prestigious medical centers in the country for residency. Many choose to go back to their Texas home to do their residency, but also 20% will stay with us at Texas Tech and help us continue to build a great medical center in its own right. Today I ask a favor from the faculty, from students perhaps, from Dr. DiToledo, who will be the new interim dean. Never go backward from our 17 years of working together. The USMLE board pass rate in 2006 was 82%. It is now 98, 99%, and must always stay that way. The Dean's Ambassadors, many who are here today, was a medical student idea in 2008 and has been a key factor in attracting medical students to our school as applicants meet with our Dean's Ambassadors. Our student-run SNMA banquet and City Lights have raised almost $2 million for scholarships and local charities, requiring intense student efforts, but also tremendous support from the Dean's office as well. The free clinic established in 2008 is needed for our patients, but is a unique interprofessional, interclass learning experience that requires continued financial support and student support. Our summer research program, 100 students every summer stay here to learn research, develop research projects with a $2,400 stipend. It is this experience, with the help of the Clinical Research Institute and with our Centers of Excellence, that have given our students a massive advantage over other students of other schools to develop research experience. Our funding of the all-important online resources. These online resource support is an integral part of our value of equity. No poor student, and we have some who don't have an extra dime, will ever be disadvantaged by not being able to afford these online resources. We must continue to be at the forefront in producing great women leaders through the elite ELAM National Leadership Program. 10 of our faculty, 11 with Dr. Jansen, coming up, have been graduates over the last 14 years. And our women students, almost half of our student body, needs these role model leaders. Maintaining top of the country's student and faculty satisfaction must always be a part of our secret advantage in competing with 14 other Texas medical schools. Any gratefulness you have toward me can be realized by support of these efforts. Class of 2023, as the white coat ceremony 4 years ago, I spoke to you about the challenges ahead. Of course, we had no knowledge about COVID-19, but we knew that the journey of a physician was never easy. Current polls have showed that many physicians no longer enjoy their work. It may be post-COVID or just part of the times. It is my belief that the joy of medicine is tied to its traditional values. As I told you 4 years ago, you have been invited into a prestigious profession, one where you will be a trusted participant in the most profound elements of human life: birth, renewal, cure, survival, rehabilitation, but also decline, insanity, pain, sorrow, and death. Few are permitted to take this journey that you have begun. You have been granted communion with life's most important trials and tribulations. You have learned to appreciate man's vulnerabilities, but also his nobility and transcendent spirit. You now have a great responsibility, the responsibility that comes with a noble profession. Those responsibilities which you accept today: to hold sacred the physician-patient relationship, protecting privacy and autonomy, to be honest with patients about options and about your mistakes and shortcomings, to care for all patients, even the most vulnerable, and to respect and understand cultural diversity, to put your patient first even when that makes your own life more difficult, to commit to lifelong pursuit of excellence in learning and acquiring the best possible scientific knowledge and clinical skills. Following these principles will not make life more difficult, but instead it will anchor you to the understanding of why, despite the difficulties in your life, you will always have a meaningful, privileged, and blessed life experience. At the white coat ceremony, you composed your own oath, which was a commitment to the principles you would live by for 4 years. You said you would support each other and hold each other accountable, and your ability to lift each other up has been well recognized. You said you would recognize the work of those who came before you and strive to fortify the foundation of those who follow. We're proud of you, and you have upheld your white coat oath. Please remember the pride and enthusiasm you felt as you started medical school. Remember how your incredible insecurity turned into partial confidence today. You came here with the dream of becoming a doctor, and you fulfill that dream today, the day you are about to be called doctor for the first time. Well, legitimately for the first time. Class of 2023, we salute your success today, your work ethic and scholarly achievements, your incredible commitment to service, your collegiality and your amazing diversity of background and thought, your equanimitas and resilience in this difficult period in your life and difficult period in our country. There have been bumps in the road, but Texas Tech School of Medicine has been good to you. I hope you realize that now, or you will in the future. And by the way, some of you still need to complete the graduating student questionnaire. But this obviously will be my last plea. Parents, they may listen to you. Please ask them to complete this survey. In December 2021, my life was saved by a team of physicians: primary care, cardiology, cardiovascular surgery, anesthesiology, pulmonary critical care, nephrology, all Texas Tech physicians. All of you will someday be center stage for your own similarly awesome and occasionally miraculous feats. Each of those physicians who took care of me at one time sat in their own graduation, just like you, wondering nervously what great deed they would accomplish in their careers. Celebrate with me today the end of my deanship and the perpetual cycle of the most honorable, intense Oslerian training that we call medical school. Please join me in congratulating this class of 2023.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations to the medical students here about to be physicians. I'm Dr. Ebtisam Islam, Associate Dean of Clinical Education. As a proud graduate of our university's PhD program, I'm happy to recognize we will be conferring a MD degree today on two of our class of 2023 graduates who previously received their PhD degrees from the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. We want to acknowledge Dr. Jonathan Kopel and Dr. Ismail Muhaddin, who completed their doctoral degrees in biomedical sciences in 2021. They are both well-published scholars, and we are pleased to be conferring your MD degrees today. Dr. Kopel and Dr. Muhaddin, please stand to be recognized. In 1998, Texas Tech became one of only 2 medical schools in the country to offer a combined MD-MBA curriculum designed to be completed in 4 years. Since our first graduating class of MD-MBA students in 2001, 197 students have completed this rigorous course of study. Today, we add 12 more to that number, and we would like to recognize those individuals at this time. Please stand and remain standing as I call your name. I'll ask the audience to please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Kiran Ali. John Bruce. Marcus Gonzalez. Abdurrahman Kharbat. Ranger Kyle. Neil Mathel. Harrison Marsh. Lois Mendez. Jasmine Rahesh. Stephen Rossetti. Susan Sherali. Arham Siddiqui. Congratulations. The School of Medicine, in conjunction with the Graduate School of Biomedical Science, developed a MD-MPH degree that focuses on public health practice and the knowledge and skills of the core public health disciplines. A Master of Public Health degree is especially important for physicians working internationally, serving marginalized and rural populations, and those considering a career as public health authority. With the class of 2023, we are proud to add 6 new graduates from this dual degree program. Please stand and remain standing as I call your name. Cheryl Antal. Emily Fine. Ria Ganji. Chelsea Gerlecki. Mary McCullough. And Kaylee Schrader. Congratulations. I'd now like to invite Dr. Betsy Jones to the podium to acknowledge a group of students of whom we are also very proud, this year's graduates of the Family Medicine Accelerated Track Program. Dr. Jones.
Good afternoon and welcome from the Departments of Medical Education and Family Medicine. The idea for the Family Medicine Accelerated Track sprang from the foresight and imagination, believe it or not, of our own Dr. Dean Burke, who recognized that providing better care for better health at lower cost in the 21st century will demand a physician workforce more balanced toward primary care and especially family medicine. Dr. Burke charged the family medicine faculty with developing an academic track that would allow students to rise to the challenge of entering family medicine residency in 3 years rather than 4. And to identify a cohort of students with the energy, aptitude, and initiative to do so. The 7 students who graduate this year in our 11th FMAT class continue to be pioneers in the best sense. And this brings to 90 the number of graduates from the FMAT program. This class started the FMAT 1 course in the summer of 2021 in one of our very first opportunities to return to in-person learning after a year of virtual coursework and limited classroom capacity. Since then, their enthusiasm and collaboration and hard work has helped establish the Texas Tech School of Medicine's national reputation for innovation and foresight in educating physicians. In fact, our mature and established FMAT program has made Texas Tech a leader in the consortium of accelerated medical pathway programs, which now includes over 35 schools in the US and Canada with 3-year programs. Because 2023 marks 10 years since the first graduating class in 2013, allow me to tell you just a few details about the previous 83 graduates. As of this summer, 58 of them will also have graduated from residency. All are practicing primary care medicine, including those who've completed fellowship training in sports medicine and geriatrics. 90% practice in Texas, 63% are in rural and medically underserved communities. And 2 of them are sitting over here as faculty members in the Department of Family Medicine. I'm honored to introduce to you members of the 11th FMAT class who are wearing silver honor cords today. Please stand and remain standing while I introduce the FMAT class of 2023. Andrew Alfaro, Sheldon Beatty, Matthew Bigelow, Shivani Dalal, Myra Gomez, Joseph Green, Benjamin Merrill. Please join me in congratulating the FMAT class of 2023. Dr. Burke, in addition to his many other roles for the School of Medicine, also serves as faculty counselor for our Alpha Omega Alpha chapter. He will recognize the class of 2023 AOA members, followed by Dr. Elizabeth Conser, who, in addition to her multiple responsibilities with the School of Medicine, is the GHHS faculty advisor and will recognize the graduating members of our Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Burke.
The Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, called AOA, is a national honor society for medical students, residents, scientists, and physicians in the United States and Canada. The goal of AOA is to recognize and perpetuate excellence in the medical profession. Election to AOA is limited to those candidates whose scholastic qualifications place them in the top 25% of their class. In addition to academic excellence, candidates are selected on the basis of their outstanding community service and leadership. We have less available grades than we've ever had before, and it's a harder and harder task to select students to AOA, but we think we did a great job. It is a privilege for me to recognize those who have been elected to AOA membership. Please stand and remain standing as I call your name. I'll ask the audience to please hold their applause until all have been recognized. Jonathan Abraham. John Bruce. Stephanie Bui. Haley Burden. Aaron Choi. Benjamin Daines. Travis Dowdle. Toshi Ebo. Asher George. Ethan Grant. Holly Grossman. Freedom Ha. Catherine Holder. Omid Hosseini. Albin John. A.K. Karbat. Andrew Knight. Rachel Kortman. Ria Koshi. Vanessa Ku. Elena Majindazab. Harrison Marsh. Christina Natha. Cody Perry. Abigail Rafe. John Alexander Raphael. Stefan Rachevich. Malkiva Ramesh. Anish Reddy. Stephen Rossetti. Kaylee Schrader. Mariana Trevino. Adam Wynn. Congratulations to all of you. I know you'll do great things.
The Gold Humanism Honor Society honors senior medical students, residents, role model physician teachers, and other exemplars recognized for demonstrated excellence in clinical care, leadership, compassion, and dedication to service. Organized to elevate the values of humanism and professionalism within the field of medicine and its constituent institutions, the Gold Humanism Honor Society is now an established and well-integrated component of the medical education environment. In 2007, Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center School of Medicine's chapter of GHHS was established through the leadership and dedication of a group of students. I am proud to acknowledge Class of 2023 members of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Please stand and remain standing as I call your name. I'll ask the audience to hold your applause until all have been recognized. Veena Agusala. Kiran Ali. Cheryl Antal. Elizabeth Brown. Stephanie Bowie. Kevin Chin. Jacqueline Cole. Samantha Daines. Marcus Gonzalez. Carly Guerra. Freedom Ha. Delton Hall. Omid Hosseini. Jenna Juricki. Alfred Kencam Jr. Ria Koshi. Christopher Lay. Joseph Oti Nemo. Parth Patel. Shri Patel. Cody Perry. Stefan Racevic. Sanjana Rao. Anish Reddy. Susan Shirali. And Abigail Stallman. We are proud of each of you. Dr. Cobbs will now recognize graduates who have earned special distinctions.
Good afternoon, and I'm really happy for everyone as well. With the class of 2023, we are pleased to award our inaugural Distinction in Care for the Underserved. The Care for the Underserved Distinction Program was created to provide medical students the opportunity to work with vulnerable, underserved communities that have often had less access to equitable health care services. The goals of this distinction program include providing students with opportunities to broaden their experiences and better understanding the barriers underserved communities face, increasing participants' appreciation of the obstacles to equitable health care, and their ability to recognize the unexpressed needs of patients. Community service through student organizations dedicated to helping underserved communities is also an integral part of this distinction program. Dr. Felix Morales, who founded the Care for the Underserved Distinction Program and is our Associate Dean for Admissions, is fully appreciative of the fact that medical student participation in student organizations and service work is well correlated with academic success, improved communication and leadership skills, and overall mastering of teamwork. Although Dr. Morales could not be with us today to mark this auspicious occasion, we are extremely proud to announce and congratulate our first graduate from the School of Medicine to be awarded a distinction in the care of underserved. That honor goes to Shivani Dalal. Shivani, please stand to be recognized. In this year's graduating class, I'm also pleased to announce we have 2 recipients of a United States Public Health Service Excellence in Public Health Service Award. This is a national award given to health profession students who are public health champions in advancing the U.S. Public Service mission to protect, promote, and advance the health and safety of our nation, and who are also helping to address public health issues in our community. Kaylee Schrader received one of these prestigious awards in 2022, and Chelsea Gerlicki is a 2023 recipient. Kaylee and Chelsea, please stand to be recognized. Dr. Jansen will now acknowledge members of our Dean's Ambassadors, Global Health and Medical Humanities and Ethics Certificate Program. Dr. Jansen.
The Dean's Ambassadors are a prestigious selection of students dedicated to the promotion of the Texas Tech University Health Science Center School of Medicine, representing the medical school at a variety of events. These students serve as ambassadors for the Office of Admissions, the Office of Student Affairs, and the Dean of the School of Medicine, primarily assisting with admissions programs and events sponsored by Student Affairs. Dean's Ambassadors provide insight and perspective on the School of Medicine and TTUHSC to new or potential students. As student representatives of the Office of Admissions, Student Affairs, and the Dean of the School of Medicine, these students very much exemplify the principles, high standards, and ethical conduct of our School of Medicine community. I am pleased to recognize Class of 2023 members of the Dean's Ambassadors Program. Please stand and remain standing as I call your name. Please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Giovanna Ababayo, Kiran Ali, Emma Brackett, Erin Choi, Jessica Cripps, Benjamin Daines, Jeremy Dorn, Alec Giron, Holly Crossman, Kali Guerra, Craig Hannon, Bailey Harvey, Grant Hansen, Catherine Holder, Shazma Khan, Harrison Marsh, Kirby Mateya, Aaron Morris, Tommy No, Armand Northcutt, Joseph Ortinimo, Abigail Raff, Aaron Rice, Stephen Rossetti, Nikita Sankorikal, Madison Schöberl, Arham Siddiqui, Michelle Terry, Mariana Trevino, Alexander Zapata. We thank you for your service to our school. We have several graduates today who have earned a certificate in global health. In order to receive this certificate, a student must complete a global health elective, participate in a seminar series and other events sponsored by the Office of Global Health, and complete at least one international health elective, along with performing local service-based activities. It is not an overstatement to say students who complete this certificate program have demonstrated a true commitment to the altruistic characteristics of a physician who appreciates health challenges on a global scale. Members of the class of 2023 who have earned the certificate in global health, please stand and remain standing as I call your name. Brianna Maschke, Benjamin Lee, Suzanne Sherali. We congratulate each of you. Sir William Osler once noted, "The practice of medicine is an art and not a trade, a calling, not a business, a calling in which your head will be exercised equally with your heart." The following class of 2023 graduates have distinguished themselves as John P. McGovern, MD Scholars in Medical Humanities and Ethics, having completed a specially designed certificate program in Medical Humanities and Ethics. Please stand and remain standing as I call your name. Cheryl Antal, Jacqueline Cole, Jessica Cripps, Bernardo Galvan, Ria Ganji, Asha George, Kali Guerra, Neil Jain, Sonia Khan, Lydia Kong, Jonathan Koppel, Christopher Lay, Endien Liao, Brianna Marschke, Shannon Pan, Daniel Peybera, Stefan Reitzewig, Kaylee Schrader, Miriam Shayab, Jessica Sisko. Congratulations to all. Each year, as part of the Match Day celebrations on each campus, students are recognized by the various departments for their outstanding work. Students were presented with their awards at Match Day, but we would like to again publicly recognize these students for their achievements. You will find a list of each campus award recipients in the program. I will now ask all class of 2023 members who received a Match Day award to please stand. Congratulations. Dr. Berg will now recognize our military graduates and present the Büsler and Class of 2023 Dean's Awards.
In every graduating class, there are students who have chosen to join a branch of the United States Armed Services. For the class of 2023, we have 4 graduates whose promotion to their new rank coincides with their graduation from medical school. I'll ask each to stand as I state their name, and you don't have to hold your applause for them. In the Army, Captain Michael Blanco. Army Captain Armand Northcutt. Navy Lieutenant Bernardo Galvan. Navy Lieutenant Bailey Harvey. Be seated. The John Bessler Medical School Founding Dean Memorial Fund Endowment was established in 2005, and the purpose of the endowment is to recognize and promote excellence at all levels of teaching, research, and clinical care. Based on the criteria set by Dr. Bessler, we present several awards during the School of Medicine convocation ceremony. Students vote for their best basic science teacher, the best clinician, and they also vote for the best best student. Students and faculty vote for the best student. I think I got that right. Anyway, for the Founding Dean Memorial Award for the Basic Science Teaching Excellence, big surprise this year, it goes to Dr. Gunapathy. He's not here because he retired, but this was the seventh time that he's won this award. So I know how appreciative all of your class and all the classes before you have been for Dr. Gunapathy. But this year's Bessler Award for Clinical Faculty Teaching goes for the first time to Dr. Jennifer Ward. Dr. Ward is an assistant professor in the Department of Family Medicine, course director of our clinical skills course. Will you please come forward and receive your certificate and check? This is her certificate, and somehow I've been told she already has her check, so that's great. Congratulations. The John Bessler Founding Dean Memorial Award for Student Excellence goes to A.K. Carbide. A.K. is a future neurosurgeon, well, though I think he can do most of the operations already, and we're very happy to announce you as the recipient of this award. Very well deserved. Congratulations. And certificate? The check? The Gold-Headed Cane Award is a long-standing tradition in medicine, actually begun in 1689 by the Royal College of Physicians in London. The college selected a physician to carry the cane who they deemed to be an outstanding clinician and exemplified the ultimate in patient care. The tradition was brought to America in 1919 and was first presented at the Texas Tech Health Science Center School of Medicine in 1977. The recipient is selected jointly by students and faculty as the individual who best exemplifies those attributes that are most desirable in a competent and caring physician. The Gold-Headed Cane recipient will join us on the platform for the remainder of the ceremony and lead the class in the recitation of the Hippocratic Oath prior to confirming the degree. Each of our clinical campuses selects one student in the four-year degree program as the Gold-Headed Cane nominee, and the winner is chosen by a faculty committee which has a voting member representing each clinical campus. The other nominees for the Gold-Headed Cane receive the Dean's Recognition Award. So the first recipient of the Dean's Recognition Award goes to Carly Guerra from the Amarillo campus. Yeah. Congratulations, and you've done a great job. Thank you. Not nervous anymore. Thank you. The next recipient of the Dean's Recognition Award from the Covenant campus is Haley Burden. Yeah. Take your time, Haley. The next recipient of the Dean's Recognition Award from the Permian Basin is Asher George. Congratulations to all our Dean's Recognition Award winners. And now the recipient of this year's Gold-Headed Cane Award, who is going to be a resident in my alma mater at Boston University Medical Center. That's not why she got this award, but it's great for me. Brianna Marshkey. Before we proceed with the presentation of the doctoral hoods, let me provide a brief explanation about our hooding ceremony. Doctoral hooding represents an important scholarly and personal achievement for our graduates. In recognition of this ceremony's significance as a conclusion to this portion of the educational journey, our graduates honor faculty members from each campus by inviting them to serve as hooders along with each campus dean. Recipients will carry their hood over their left arm and present it to the hooders to symbolize the receipt of the doctoral degree. As each student's name is read, they will come forward to be hooded. We'll now begin the hooding ceremony.
Giovanna Abebio, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Jonathan Abraham, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Andrew Alfaro, hooded by his fiancée, Taylor Williams, J.D., and Dr. Richard Jordan. Gabriel Arevalo, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Sheldon Beatty, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Matthew Bigelow, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Kevin Chin, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. John Chubuk, hooded by his father, Dr. Radu Chubuk and Dr. Richard Jordan. Benjamin Sanders Daines, hooded by his mother, Dr. Corey Daines, and his father, Dr. Michael Daines. Samantha Daines, hooded by her mother, Veda DeLon, J.D., and her father, Steve DeLon, J.D. Shivani Thalal, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Matt DeVries, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Robert Ezra Dixon, hooded by his brothers, Dr. Peter Dixon and Dr. Ralph David Dixon. Tochi Ebo, hooded by her mother, Dr. Frances Ebo, and her brother, Dr. Stanley Ebo. Brooke Estes, hooded by her grandfather, Dr. Crosby W. Jones, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Adrian Falco, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Bernardo Galvan, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Taylor Galvan, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Ria Gunji, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Anant Gunagunta, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Carly Chuck Guetta, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Bailey Gutierrez, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Delton Hall, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Sarah Hawk, hooded by her mother, Dr. Urshi Hawk, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Catherine Grace Holder, hooded by her husband, Nicholas Yost J.D., and her father-in-law, Dr. Greg Yost. Omid Hosseini, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Bridget O'Hara Hornback, hooded by her mother, Dr. Mary Cruiser, and her father, Dr. Daniel Cruiser. Dylan Jung, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. I did. Alfred Can-Cam Jr., hooded by his cousin, Dr. Stanley Ebo and Dr. Richard Jordan. Shazma Khan, hooded by her father, Dr. Ghulam Khan, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Abdurrahman Fayez Karbat, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Maria Rita Corey, hooded by her father, Dr. Isa Corey, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Ranger Kyle, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Neo Mathel, hooded by his sister, Dr. Neha Mathel and Dr. Richard Jordan. Elena Majdinasab, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Tavian Mapp, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Tyler Morgan, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Good to see you. Christina Natha, hooded by her sister, Dr. Nikita Natha and Dr. Richard Jordan. Kwame Kosi Opoku, hooded by his brother, Dr. Akwasi Opoku, and his cousin, Dr. Kweku Opoku. Daniel Paybera, hooded by his brother, Dr. Ibrahim Paybera and Dr. Richard Jordan. Ian Pham, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Jasmine Rahesh, hooded by her mother, Dr. Mirzad Feeney, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Diego Regalado, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Nikki Sankurakal, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Emily Nicole Sargent, hooded by her father, Emil Sargent JD, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Kaylee Schrader, hooded by her husband, Dr. Matthew Borgerding, and Dr. Richard Jordan. Alexis Shuck, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Susan Shirley, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Dr. Arham Siddiqui, hooded by his father, Dr. Junaid Siddiqui, and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Brianna Taylor, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Varun Vemalapalli, hooded by his father, Dr. Sham Vemalapalli and Dr. Richard Jordan. Haven Ward, hooded by Dr. Richard Jordan and Dr. Izzy Obahari. Tiffany Xu, hooded by her fiance, Dr. Lu Xin Zhao and Dr. Richard Jordan. And Madeline Young, hooded by her brother, Dr. Andrew Young and Dr. Richard Jordan. You're nervous.
Hussein Abadi, hooded by his sister, Dr. Shani Reeves, and his brother, Dr. Zain Abadi. Benjamin Becker, hooded by his brother-in-law, Dr. Trevor Conant and Dr. Sean Nunez. Elizabeth Brown, hooded by her mother, Dr. Kathy Brown, and Dr. Sean Nunez. J. Christian Bruce, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Haley Burden, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Daniel DeSimon, hooded by his father, Dr. Gabriel DeSimon and Dr. Sean Nunez. Jeremy Doan, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Abigail Ellington, hooded by her parents, Dr. Libby Ellington and Dr. Todd Ellington. Courtney Evans, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Emily Fine, hooded by her parents, Dr. Chitra Fine and Dr. Joshua Fine. Marcus Gonzalez, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Grant Hansen, hooded by his father, Dr. Jeffrey Hansen and Dr. Sean Nunez. Austin Hassick, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Neil Jane, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Sonia Kong, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Harrison Marsh, hooded by his father, William Marsh, JD, and Dr. Sean Nunez. Benjamin Merrill, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Erin Morris, hooded by her parents, Dr. Helen Rose and Dr. Randall Morris. Rachel Waneri, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Joseph Otanimo, hooded by his cousin, Dr. Kefat Burshar and Dr. Sean Nunez. Stephanie Pante, hooded by her parents, Dr. Sonia Pante and Dr. Dennis Pante. Nikita Rao, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Anish Reddy, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Erin Rice, hooded by her husband, Dr. Travis Schneider and Dr. Sean Nunez. Stephen Rossetti, hooded by his father, Stephen Rossetti, JD, and his brother, Dr. Anthony Rossetti. Madison Shabrill, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Cheyenne Sarami, hooded by his mother, Dr. Shiva Isidus, and his uncle, Dr. Cheyenne Isidus. Jessica Sisko, hooded by her husband, Christopher Morris, J.D., and her uncle, Dr. Richard Vignes. Joanna Steed, hooded by her brother-in-law, Dr. John Witten, and Dr. Sean Nunez. Hannah White, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Adam Nguyen, hooded by Dr. Michael Robertson and Dr. Sean Nunez. Alexander Zapata, hooded by his aunt, Dr. Juanita Zapata, and uncle, Dr. George Flint.
Thank you. Veena Agusala, hooded by her father, Dr. Madhava Agusala, and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Kieran. Kiran Ali, hooded by her mother, Dr. Rosman Ali, and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Cheryl Antau, hooded by her sister, Dr. Charmaine Tang, and her father, Dr. Enrico Aguas. Lauren Barinki, hooded by her father, Dr. Mark Barinki, and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Michael Blanco, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Emma Brackett Douglas, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Whitney Brantley, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Joseph Cafferata, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Michael Carey, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Sandra Hoyen Chang, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Angela Chen, hooded by her father, Dr. Chun Lian Chen and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Ayushi Chintakayala, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Jacqueline Cole, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Jessica Cripps, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Townie Kung, hooded by her aunt, Dr. Nuit Lee and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Karishma Desai, hooded by her brother, Dr. Sajan Bhakta, and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Rodan De Vega, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Travis Dowdle, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Grace Ahiquimin, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Kristen Fain, hooded by her mother, Dr. Becky Fain, and her father, Dr. Jerry Fain. Anna Garcia Barker, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. J. Lee Garza, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Chelsea Gerlicki, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Alec Duran, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Ethan Grant, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Joseph Green, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Holly Grossman, hooded by her father, Leonard Grossman, JD, and Dr. by Dr. Lauren Cobbs.
Freedom Ha, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Bailey Harvey, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Dan Hayward, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Adam Hood, hooded by his parents, Dr. Patricia Hood and Dr. Dwight Hood. Tristan Faith Hunt, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Albin John, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Jenna Jarecki, hooded by her parents, Dr. Mary Lee Jarecki and Dr. Stephen Jarecki. Andrew Knight, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. I'm so happy. Lydia Kong, hooded by her father, Dr. Paul Kong and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Stephanie Kapansky, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Jonathan Copel, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Rachel Cortman, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Ria Koshi, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Christopher Lay, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and by Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Undian Liao, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Brianna Marshke, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Sorry. Hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Kirby Matea, hooded by her father, Dr. William Matea, and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Mayree McCullough, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Michael Moit, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Aiden Miser, hooded by his grandmother, Dr. Ann Fremel, and his wife, Dr. J.C. Miser. Ismail Muhyiddin, hooded by his father, Sayed Muhyiddin, and Dr. Lauren Combs. Armand Northcutt, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Shannon Pan, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Parth Patel, hooded by his brother, Himesh Patel, and Dr. Lauren Combs. Shri Patel, hooded by her parents, Archana Patel and Amish Patel. Cody Perry, hooded by his brother-in-law, Dr. Mart Summers, and Dr. Lauren Combs. Abigail Rafe, hooded by her fiance, Dr. Eric Kennison, and Dr. Lauren Combs. Malvika Ramesh, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Spursh Ray, hooded by Dr. Lauren Combs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Kayvon Sharifi, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Farantola Schwarden, hooded by Falashade Schwarden and Dr. Akin Renmarde Schwarden. Michelle Terry, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser. Michael Tran, hooded by his brother, Kevin Tran, Dr. Kevin Tran, and Dr. Lauren Cobbs. Venus Tran, hooded by Dr. Lauren Cobbs and Dr. Elizabeth Conser.
Stephanie Bowie, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Aaron Choi, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Asher Kodan Kundathil George, hooded by his mother-in-law, Dr. Nancy Samuel. Craig Hannon, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Dalen Kim, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Vanessa Koo, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Gabriela Moro, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Vianney Nanez, hooded by her sister, Dr. Elizabeth Nanez. Tommy No, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega.
Congratulations, Travis.
Travis Pham, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Mohammed Pourgaihed, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Michelle Quiroz Armenta, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. John Alexander Raphael, hooded by his mother, Dr. Marita Raphael. Stefan Rajcevic, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Sanjana Rao, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Robert Saldana, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Anu Satish Kumar, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Miriam Shayeb, hooded by her mother, Dr. Eileen Sheridan Shayeb, and her father, Dr. Joseph Shayeb. Abigail Jackson Stallman, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega. Christina Tompkins, hooded by her mother, Dr. Melissa Tompkins, and her father, Dr. John Tompkins. You're going to get the biggest applause. Mariana Trevino, hooded by Dr. Timothy Benton and Dr. Martin Ortega.
Not yet. Not yet. I have a short announcement.
So as soon as you're done with your announcement, raise your hand.
No, then I'll say ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Here it goes. Fix it and raise it.
I don't think I've made too many mistakes in 18 years doing the graduation, but we may have done one now. Maddie Young is a graduate who is also a member of AOA, but we didn't mention her. So, congratulations to her. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating members of the Texas Tech University Health Science Center School of Medicine, class of 2023. Will the gold-headed cane recipient please come forward to lead the class in the recitation of the Oath of Hippocrates. Graduates, please remain standing as Brianna starts the reading of the oath, which you will then recite along with her.
I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred, that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members, that I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor, that into whatever house I will enter, it shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power. I, holding myself aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice, that I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patient and will give no drug, perform no operation for a criminal purpose, even if solicited, far less suggested. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things do I promise, and in proportion as I am faithful to this, my oath, may happiness and good repute be ever mine. In the opposite, if I shall be forsworn. Congrats.
Please be seated. Dr. D'Agostino, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Medicine, these candidates are recommended to you for conferring of the degree Doctor of Medicine.
Thank you, Dean Burke. Okay, you guys ready? This is it. It's official after this. All right. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of Texas Tech University System, as delegated by Lori Rice Spearman, our president, I confer upon each of you the degree for which the Dean of the School of Medicine has recommended. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding the achievements of these graduates. I want to thank our faculty for all you have done for these graduates. A piece of your DNA is on them now, and whenever they're struggling or they're happy or they save a life, part of it came from you, so thank you so much for that to all of you. Congratulations. To our graduates, sometimes we don't see enough love in this world. Please share your love and give yourself permission to be love. Bring kindness to everybody that you know. That is what we teach here at TTUHSC. Additionally, I want to thank all of the people involved with this graduation, and to all of the loved ones in the audience. This is your day too, so congratulations.
Before we close, I have a very important reminder and an invitation. Graduates, you've earned them. Don't forget to pick up your diplomas, your real diplomas. My invitation is for everyone to please join us at the Texas Tech Club for a reception following the close of this ceremony. Our students and faculty will move over to the Tech Club using the west side entrance. Lastly, I would take a moment to again acknowledge that gathered here are family and friends who have applauded your achievements, people who have supported you and encouraged you all along the way in your efforts to gain an education. It is fitting that we allow our graduates to say a special thank you to those who have helped and encouraged them over the years. Please join me in applauding your families and friends. Thank you for joining us in celebrating our School of Medicine class of 2023. Graduates will recess to the lobby area where you can join them. Wishing you all a wonderful rest of the day.